Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and I want to talk about some more of what's been going on with this political correctness. And I'm standing up because I'm expecting to get pretty angry when I talk about this. So we already talked about the Confederate flag and all this other nonsense, and things that they're not really going to have an effect on society. Now, there's that where there's a meaning behind it, and then there's something that doesn't really have any meaning at all, and it kind of goes into a deeper sort of meaning, but is really meaningless at the end of the day. That makes any sense. But anyway, what I got going on inside my head makes sense. But there you go. Anyway, so Target has decided, with the complaints of many people, and this was something that's not recent, it's been going on for many years. They've decided to remove all signing and all promotion and all indications and stuff like that about gender, separation of products. So boys' pants and girls' pants are not going to have any, separation or anything like that. There's not going to be a boys and girls section. It'll be a children's section. And basically, I guess boys' pants will just be pants and girls' pants will just be pants. And also, the toys are going to just be toys. And they're going to remove, like, all the signage saying that girls and boys stuff is just. This is retarded! Holy shit. I can't believe that we have gotten to the point where it has gotten this bad. Where we're not even supposed to say that this is a girl or a boy's toy. Now, I'm sorry if this pisses you off, but a Barbie doll has always and forever will be a girl's toy. Sorry if you're a boy and you want to play with dolls. Here's the thing. We're so worried about offending somebody. Oh, well, you're saying that if a boy wants to play with a Barbie doll, then what are you saying there? And you know what they're trying to say. I'm going to come right out and say, you're saying that they're gay or something like that. That's exactly what they don't want to, have any like emphasis that it might be homosexual or something like that. That's exactly what they're trying to get at there, and I think that is outrageous, and I think that makes things even more offensive because now you're bringing that to light. Before that wasn't even being talked about, but now it's going to get people talking. And see, this is what I was saying with the Confederate flag. No one was really talking about it until the media brought it up as a distraction. Then everybody is talking about it, and then everyone is going to get butthurt over it. Better off just leaving things alone. Stop starting fires where there doesn't need to be one. You wouldn't light a building on fire because that's not good. So why light a social fire like this one? And I am getting so sick and tired of this because that is exactly what they're doing. This is the whole thing with the Kardashians and Bruce Jenner getting a sex change and all that. Now we want this to all be acceptable and everything. And if we even for 1 minute question that something might be a little weird or a little bit off, or we're not really ready to accept something so overwhelmingly different in society. I'm sorry, but that's just how people are built. Not everybody is just, so open-minded that their goddamn brain is falling out of their head. Not everybody is going to, accept a boy playing with a Barbie doll because this is not something that most people do. So why are you going to force these ideas into people's heads? No, it's okay. You have to think it's okay. It's like, no, people are allowed to think that it's not okay. Even if you think that that person is a bad person for thinking that, you can't tell him he's a bad person. It's not how it works. People are allowed to have freedom of speech. They're allowed to think however they want, as long as it's not hurting anybody, and it's not hurting anybody. There, you know, it's just not something that needed to be done, and it's going to upset people. See, you don't want to offend people, but you're going to offend them even more by doing something so overwhelmingly retarded, by changing something so drastically in society that is just something that has come accepted, just because a couple of nut jobs don't want to accept certain traditions in society, let's say, if that is the best word to use there, you know then that's their problem. A couple of people don't like something. We have to make sure that 100% of people are satisfied in this country with the way how people think. If that is how people want it, then that is like something out of a fucking sci-fi movie where everybody is just mind controlled and thinking the same way. That's not how society works, and it will never work that way. There is no way that is going to work, and that just sounds almost like a Hitler totalitarian society where if you disagree, well, then it's your ass basically, and it's not to that extreme of an extent, but it's basically the same concept in a way. We have to make sure everything is to society's liking, and no one is going to agree, because with something like this, you're going to offend other people by making a change. So how does that make sense? You did something so you wouldn't offend people, but then you offend even more people and upset them. Maybe not being offended would be the right word, but upsetting them. Why would you want to do that? So in change for offending people, you're going to upset them. Because now this is dumb. So now they're going to mix up the toy aisles. They're not going to label anything. I mean, okay, so this is the thing. Yeah, a boy really shouldn't be wearing a skirt. It's just not something that's traditionally, well, if they want to, go the fuck ahead. No one's stopping you. No one's saying that you can't do that. But traditionally, it's not acceptable. And if someone doesn't think it's acceptable and someone doesn't like it and thinks it's weird, they have every right to think that. But of course, it's going to come back to that because as of late, you know, things are racially fueled. They're also, guess you could say, gender and sexually fueled as well, because we've had this whole entire country now is 100%, gay marriage approved. So now we have to make sure that if there's any reference or any type of homosexuality, homophobic type of stuff, we have to remove it. Even though it's not, it's like, did anybody ask for this? I mean, did they consult it? But we all know that that's the undertones of this decision, is that we are making sure that no one is offended, because yes, maybe some men, they're more in touch with their feminine side and they want to play with dolls, or they want to dress a little bit more effeminately, and that is their decision. If they want to go and do that, that is their problem. That's their problem. That's their choice. It's maybe not a problem, for them, but some other people are not going to agree with it. And you can't, like I just said, you can't force somebody to think that that is normal. If it's not something that's traditionally done, and you can't just fucking wipe people's minds clean like this is Men in Black, and institute new thoughts into their mind. They're going to think that yes, that they shouldn't necessarily be playing with dolls or dressing in women's clothing, and people are going to giggle when they hear something, exactly, because it's just something that people don't accept and they find it a little bit weird. And the whole thing that's going on with Bruce Jenner, we're being forced into it by the media to accept this. Oh, this is something great. Now everybody come together and hold hands and accept this in society, and this is going to make society a better place. And really all the guy is just really self-centered and has a very one-dimensional way of looking at being a woman. So, and a lot of people have come out and said this, but Target wants to go ahead and try to do this holding hands bullshit, like we're all accepting and everything, and there won't be any labels on anything, even though if it makes it harder to shop, okay, so there you go. Hey, we don't want to offend anybody with dairy and produce, so let's not mark anything. Oh wait, so is an apple a fruit or is milk a fruit? I don't even know. I'm supposed to get a certain amount of servings of each type of food group. The fuck? I mean, where do you draw the line in society of who's going to get offended? Pretty soon there ain't going to be anything left. Life is just going to be a barren wasteland. There ain't even going to be anything. It's just going to be one big fucking hot mess. I mean, what is this world coming to? We're trying to just tell people how to think. We're not allowed to think a certain way. If we think a certain way, it's racist, it's homophobic, it's this, it's that. When does a thought just, why can't a thought just be a thought without it being labeled something, or, you making a person feel bad or putting them down just because they have a certain idea? There's too many things being labeled risque in life. Everything is risque. You can't talk about this, can't talk about that, can't put this in a certain way because it might offend somebody, can't, have that a certain way because it might offend somebody. Thing is, you can't do that in life. You can't, walk through life worried that you're going to offend somebody. Sometimes you got to say what's on your mind. Sometimes, things just have to be said, and if people don't like to hear it, then that's really just tough shit. It's tough cookies. So sometimes, in order to, demonstrate a thought, things have to be said, and some people might disagree. That's the thing. People agree, people disagree in life. And sometimes you have to agree to disagree. And we all know that old cliche, and I don't necessarily like that term a lot of times, but, we have to say that. Sometimes we just have to agree to disagree. Live to fight another battle. Not every single thing is a battle in life, and people are just very confrontational. They're so worried about offending one another. If anything, they're on the other hand, they're very confrontational. Every single thing has got to be a social war and something like that. And it's just ridiculous and it's annoying. I mean, like this, you can't even go shopping in Target with being safe from this. You're gonna now. You don't even know where things are in the store. All you want to do is get a goddamn shirt for your son or daughter, and you can't even do that because now everything's gonna be. It's not gonna be labeled. It's gonna be all mixed up, and that is just madness. That is just absolute total fucking madness. If we're not even allowed to call something boys' pants or girls' pants, or the boys section or the girls section, or say that this is a boy or a girl's toy. So, okay. Most girls do play with Barbie dolls, and most boys play with GI Joes or whatever the fuck you want to use it as an example for either gender's toy. But that's why they do it. That is the reason behind a boy and a girl section. Things that are more feminine are for a girl, things that are more masculine are for a boy, and that's why things are the way how they are, just based on traditional thought, just the way how things are in society. And there's something that's a little bit different and a couple of people think a different way, you can't just completely change all of society just for a few people, just so a few people could feel accepted. Sometimes it's how it is in life. Sometimes you're going to be an outsider. Sometimes you're, and that's a good thing, right? You don't want to be like everybody else. I understand. But, society is just not going to cater to you. I'm sorry, we're not, there's no, like, chefs that are going to just deliver life to you on a silver platter. Everyone together should have to apologize because, you just can't have that in life. You know, oh, I'm really sorry if life can't cater to your every need and your every thought, and if you get offended so easily. And the thing is, if you get that offended so easily, there's a problem with you. So why aren't you being removed from society? You offend me by being so offended all the time. But yeah, I think this is one of the most ridiculous things I ever heard. That we're actually getting rid of, gender specific things. I mean, okay, so usually a bride wears a dress to a wedding. So are we gonna stop saying, are we gonna put the wedding dresses in the men's department at Macy's or some shit? I mean, come on, like, where do we draw the line? I mean, there is no line anymore. It's been completely removed. The line is offensive because it creates a divide, and we don't want any division in society. We all want to be together. And I told you, this concept of metaphors and stuff like that is it's nonsense. Someone has a thought now that, oh, we don't feel together, we don't feel needed, something has to be changed. Just leave everything the fuck alone already. I am getting so sick and tired of just if one person out of thousands or millions feels a certain way, state their opinion, and then everybody is so scared of offending that person. Before you know it, it snowballs and everybody agrees. And then we have the whole problem that we do, like right there at Target. No fucking boys' pants, no girls' pants, just pants. Pants, that's all it is. And so, yeah, I want you guys to think about this seriously. I mean, you're going to walk into a store, you're not even going to know where the fuck you're going half the time because there's not going to be any labels. It's just eventually going to be, there's not even going to be any departments, so I'm surprised that it just stopped with children. And they're not doing this with the men's and women's department. I mean, it's so fucking awkward is what it is. I mean, for God fucking sakes, it's madness. You're not going to even be able to tell which shirt is for a boy and for a girl half the time, and there's no identifiers. I'm sorry, but that's the thing. We want to avoid labels. Not there. There isn't even going to be any actual labels. The madness. It will not cease to exist. All I can say is, guys, just realize what's going on here. Stop with everyone being offended. And it's funny because I really started to notice how offended everybody got when I first started going on here on YouTube and reading the comments. Everybody gets offended or butthurt over something if they disagree, even over the smallest things. It's just everybody needs to chill the fuck out already and just realize that there's, more to life than being offended. And if you go through life and all you're concerned about is just everything being to your liking, then, what the fuck is the point? Everybody, like, I get accused here on YouTube of hating everything. People fail to realize that what I am is basically a critic. I basically state what displeases me. I'm not going to come on here and I'm not here to praise everything. What would be the point of me coming on these videos and just praising everything all the time? Oh, society's great. Oh, these movies are great and stuff like that. No, I'm on here to vent. I'm here to talk about things that annoy me in society. So, that's why people are here. This is what stops them from blowing their top in real life. They come here and they vent their opinions and they give their ideas on how they think that, this stuff could be prevented or bettered or, however you want to look at it. Basically, yeah. So, those are the same people I've noticed who criticize me for being too negative. That's it. They're being offended. They don't like a certain thing, so they want me to change, and I won't change, motherfucker. And nobody should change to meet the needs of another person. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, just as Spock fucking said, and that's very true. And what I need is for everybody to shut the fuck up already with this politically correct nonsense. Leave everybody alone. Just leave things the way they are. people are going to be racist. They're going to be homophobic. They're going to disagree with certain things in society. They're going to think certain things are weird. They're going to think certain things are unacceptable. They're going to think certain things are blasphemous or whatever. And that's just part of life. You got different types of people from all different walks of life. We're allowed to hate certain people. We're allowed to like certain people. We're allowed to do whatever we want. These things are unavoidable in life. And yes, certain things will cause problems down the road, but that's just how it is. You know, you're never going to be able to change everybody. It's never going to be one big fucking campfire singing kumbaya and eating fucking s'mores or something with Smokey the Bear. I don't fucking know. You know, that's basically how it is. It's just how it is, you know. And I know that might sound like putting it too much in layman's terms, but you know, it seriously is. There's nothing you can do about it. And I know you feel powerless like that, but you know, that's what makes this world great. Think about how boring this world would be if there wasn't any problems or people were all the same. We see the movies all the time. We saw it in real life, like I said, in Nazi Germany and all this other type of stuff. You know, everybody's the same way. That creates even more problems. So just think about that for a minute. All right.